Hello, friends. Happy June to you. Stacy Anfinson with your Torreport Market Update. We're going to look at resale inventory for the month of May and looking backwards for some time period. So let's dig in, see if we get any assistance from the resale market in terms of our desperate need for resale listings. Once again, we'll put the population growth up here. We're going to go from 2007 on the left to 2024 on the right. If you compare 2024 with 2007, you can see that the population of Raleigh-Cary MSA has grown 111%. So that's kind of something we've been over on the last numerous presentations that we've given you. But let's look at annual resale listings over the same period, 2007 on the left, 2023 on the right. Big fat minus 33 comparing 2023 with 2007 in terms of annual listings. And if you look at 2023 compared to 2022, we're down 16%. So that's really the challenge in our market. Population adding, listings going down. New construction is helping out somewhat, but that is really those of you who have kind of wondered how interest rates can increase and house prices increase as well. Well, that's why we're just not creating enough shelter for the people that are moving in here. Now we're going to look at resale listings added by month. This is a bit of a bright spot for us. Don't really freak out too much about the December standpoint. That is a typical seasonal pattern. Let's look at the May number of 3,038 and compare it to May of last year, which was 2,475. May resales listing, May resales added, we're up 23%. So that's a great sign. We've seen some double-digit percentages, thankfully, the last few months that we've looked at resale inventory. Median list price. So we talked about, how can you have mortgage interest rates go up and house price metrics go up? Well, here you go. Median list price of resales listed in May, 461.5 compared to 434.5 in May of last year, was up 6%. If you want to look at it from median list price per square foot of these resale listings added per month, you can see that the May number of 233 is up 4% compared to the May number of 224. Once again, those price metric increases are solely due to the lack of the delta between resale houses coming in on the market and people moving in here. More people moving in here than moving out. Next slide, we'll look at number of end-of-month listings by price bracket. Down here, you see the majority of them are priced between 300 and 400,000. And before any of you looking at this throw something at the computer and say he's crazy, well, remember, it's market share of total listings. It doesn't mean that there is a ton of 300 to 400K listings. Those of you that have either tried to represent buyers or have had listings within this price range, you've experienced the multiple offer situation. You've experienced houses selling well above list price. So yes, that's the most competitive and most desirous. It doesn't mean it's the highest number in terms of numbers. It just means that there's the largest market share when you look at the whole donut of resale listings. If you look over here, the 11% number is the number of listings, end of month listings at 1 million and up. I found this interesting. This is certainly a indicator of the economic demographic growth in our market. If you go back 20 years ago, $1 million houses were probably about 1% to 2% of end of inventory listings. So to see double digits here, we're starting to get as pricey as some of our peer markets. Next graph we're going to look at is average list price to original list price ratio by days on market bracket. So down here below, we've got days on market in brackets of 10. So there's 0 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, so on and so forth. You can see what happens. This is what we love in the data analysis thing, is a linear progression from one side to the next. You start out, those on the market for 10 days have not changed their list price yet, have not dropped it. Those who get to the 11th day drop it 1%. Those who get to the 21st day drop it 1%. Those who get to the 31st day drop it 2%, as it goes all the way down to 101 days where they've dropped at about 5%. And the reason I bring this up, you don't really want to bring, I should note this is the stubborn seller metric here because there's really no excuse for that. The fact that there is a severe undersupply of resale listings is a positive, but it doesn't mean that just because you put a list price on it, somebody's going to buy it. And this is certainly an indicator of that. So just pay attention to these days of markets. If you're going out there to say, hey, I need a price cut from my seller because we've been on the market for 32 days, utilize a graph like this and say your price cut needs to be about 2%. Hopefully this will help you out. Last thing we're going to talk about is the influence of new construction on resale listings. Once again, severe undersupply of resale listings. So in theory, they should have nothing in terms of competition. They should be able to get the price that they ask, but that's not necessarily the case. Down here on the bottom, we've got our zip codes. I give you the location because I'm sure most of you, like me, we've only memorized a few zip codes. 27587 is Wake Forest. Then we got Clayton, and we got 27526 in Fuquay, 27610 in East Raleigh, and then 27591 in Wendell. Wendell is the poster child for new construction having the highest percentage of market share. So 76% of listings in Wendell are new construction. If you've got a resale listing in any of these zip codes, you really need to pay attention to the list price of new construction. And that's not necessarily whether it's on the ground. I would certainly go into the sales model and see what they're charging for that now, because there are people who don't mind waiting 6 months to get a house. And the fact that there's just not a lot of spec inventory anymore, certainly pay attention to that and counsel your sellers likewise. And so that really relates to this graph, which says the zip codes with the most end-of-month listings with a price drop from original. Got the same zip codes: Wake Forest, Clayton, Fuquay, East Raleigh, and Wendell. Wake Forest has the most amount of listings, 78 listings that have dropped price, and Clayton's got 49. Fuquay's got 41, East Raleigh's got 36, and then Wendell's got 35. So it's one of those things where I think it's important to, again, this is a good sign. You've got sellers reacting to the presence of new construction. They try it for 30 days, nothing's happening. So don't necessarily, the national press would kind of look at this and freak out and say, oh my gosh, everybody's dropping list price now, the sky is falling. That's not really the case. In my opinion, that's just an efficient market reacting to the presence of alternatives. And whether they're new construction or not, that's just, I think that's a positive thing. So I'll wrap things up for May. Once again, Raleigh-Cary MSA population up 111% since 2007. Annual resales listed are down 33%. May resale listings added up 24% compared to May of 2023. May median list price of listings up 6%. Median list price per square foot up 4%. Largest market share of resale listings between 3 and 400K. Once again, please remember that this is not the number of listings. This is the largest percentage of listings in the market there, between 3 and 400,000. Still way not enough in there to meet demand. And finally, the average list to original list price ratio decreases as days on market increases. So if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the Tour Report YouTube channel. If you have any appraisal needs, I can be contacted at any of the addresses up there. And if you need further market information, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to www.tourreport.com. So that's all I've got for now. Appreciate you listening, and we'll see you next time.